And a man for airbo, the Sabamia Korea, so I pay their buyer, and before say, or no, not chinchana, and the alcohol to Abba, and the other candidate, and there's a party. And yes, means you Nation media, me give say, baby, a Ghana, a Gina say, and maybe no air pay, Ghana, Sikasem, I be a war, ya and net, Kawopa, $1, oh, cotono, 12 point something, a year for 13. A human would no more a cranium. Ukrainian, over top baby. It's out the $40 plus a crap of account, and no cry at them. And I say, and near man cry a crane of the door. Nimidiana, one of the idea of
okay, I will say some more cover beam. Now, he didn't too. And I'm say on an angel from 14 Como, where Angel Kumase, and I am swatching in the year ball, where former General Secretary NPP, Nippon Naya Party no, a palm woman and son and no, Papa no Eka Hobie. Enti wachiri chirimu ni entia President Akufo-Addo, and the Bawumia Dina Chiba, a bra, na unqualifying put says, NPP Amanyukuno, na Omamani Tibre, Zanze no nye party bampu, and uncampese, or a party near what 5 years. I chase with Timmy Hoodie position Cassia, our party them. But President Akufo-Addo, Emma MPP ma atias yes, a band Ghana Sika Semwa, Bawumia aye governor, deputy governor, with Nimuye Papa, a Ghana economy no, or perso de Bawumia ba, na economy ekuye, but ene economy no, na ene what you che mui, na ye kwaka, Mose Moyanka, and the boy yefi party name. Eti aye na now hinin too, and na. Mote ka so no so adenedi abano yen sure say with the budget na yen share say oman wadachi na ya tomato the din say e inkonim budget your expenditure 226 billion then your revenue projection no 176 billion. Ivan and Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So and then now to prepare and a budget year reading no a course for parliament me gidi say and crack a lot do so year. Then the one who will more near the chair.
Yeah, the kind of things economy is the foundation of everything that we do. Into a proper understanding about the current state of the economy by reviewing the budget now. Yeah, but here once so subsequent discussion. I think the Ghana for better as a year. Osha say no two figures be expenditure buying that was in the budget no. Yebedi sika yebedi anase yebeyisu is a projected figure betimi abro and in the past ye who say ya abro ero ye 226 billion Ghana cedis by ye grant ne revenue taxes ye budget nyina ye 176 billion. So budget no to begin with no deficit as a yetimi a cover over 50 billion Ghana cedis. And you see I'm trying to explain this thing in a simple way Ghana ni beti as here. The danger ewo ho ne say very often a government ekobobo to finance that budget deficit in the and very often you go outside because they know now your credit ratings are quite high. So you can access credit on the capital market to finance your budget and as for. But for this time no, you're locking in from the international credit space. So what it means is yen to me nko abonten say to finance this particular deficit here that way. So government is compelled to come into the domestic market. And about raise this kind of free. So as can be raise
50 billion.
50 billion or be raised from the domestic market. Ordinary, no. The domestic market is for private enterprises and private businesses, industries or more. No, when him say we a company now or Ghana, we to be carbon things. Normally they raise their capital from the domestic market. So I know the day, no. If government in the niche that's our same market, so now these people go into competition. Clearly, I try to say government ever crash them out of your friends at the space, and their access to credit somewhere will be threatened. And basa omunyuma sem. The private sector is the engine of the economy, no. That particular engine, no, the oil the run and the economy cannot grow. So that is the first shot I want us to understand, say. And I'm saying I buying Jumadi and the bad track record of 1 year all the credit rating agencies like Moody's, Fitch, S&P, and as for are downgraded year to a nano. We are not credit worthy, and if you carbon things here, we've been locked out of the credit space. Yen to me, say a quack Jessica, Eurobond market in a canofurata no the higher. I say mfichikwanya da bia na okoba within 4 years already over $11 billion, you know. That market and you are shutting it down to him. He cannot go there. That is why even Yesika yes servicing as a form sikas yetu nyina kwan yentumintia. So to begin with, no government edna need local market, you know. Now you have pay for that particular sikano. Again, oko you ready budget, you know, what is all making projections say Ghana, your GDP is likely to hit 1 trillion mark for the first time in the history of this particular country. And your buyer who send the workers at TSA Bontan, yes, celebrating as well. You see, the mediocrity is too much. And you see, some of these things, what you see, you know, say is just for the politics. But in reality, you know, whenever you see a GDP growth, air cost runner, there should be some linkage on the lives of the people, economic life of the people. You see certain significant improvement. But in our situation, you know, that is not the case. Because for the US economy, GDP air grow. GDP no air grow as a result of productivity or mine no air cost a numa sem like a man for a runner shift said a music night day hour and numa people a bit many be production air cost and at no day no that exchange, you know, and their driver GDP money grow and at no day no whenever I say GDP and I say or minor GDP no esubiano oba economic life of the people now you see that there is a direct linkage but wherever there is a disconnect like ours see then you begin to ask yourself say what could be the possible drivers of the economy now ama GDP no on nominal terms no grow but in reality it is not growing. One is because of what inflation quite cost could do 51% because your GDP and any goods and services produced within the borders of the country within a specific period of time. So your market value prices are key. So if inflation is going up, I remember prices and cost. So whenever you do the computation, obviously the outcome will be high. So you get high figures, but and your positive is negative because it is aided by what inflation and the man cost. And this is how we celebrate Ghana for more about so because GDP base no cost and don't forget recently you're rebasing the economy and rebasing the economy. Need to say your friend is saying over the years, you know, there are several areas that contributed to the GDP by a young capture. So we are widening the base to cover those areas. But obviously the figures will go up and they be quite recently. So you see, beyond the politics and the reality is that we numbers and as for no digu holding in these figures not any linkage be with what is happening to the ordinary Ghanaian. And then you come back to ask yourself, say, GDP na WIA the kind of as a for hene no. You said it was any woman. Because GDP, no, both foreign and local businesses, transaction, everything, goods and services within the borders of this country, and once within a specific period of time, then the market value. So I chose most of the corporations in the world having foreign companies, MTN, Vodafone, you can mention them. All of them, can be shop price and then as a form, can be. And they contribute to the GDP. We are not the day, no. Almost their share of that particular GDP, no, repatriated from the country. So what it means is that when these monies are living, they don't live in cities, they live in dollars. So almost send this in dollars because you need Marabia or Chroma, a foreign company now by a business, I will retain a percentage of your capital in this country. So almost second, what they call in dollars. I know that they know putting a further strain on the economy. So why do you celebrate some of these things? So something to celebrate. I think that the gross national product is the best thing you can celebrate because I don't know. Your friend saying by Ghanaians within and outside the borders of this country. I don't know, I bet certain correlation. And you ask yourself, say, what other indices in a certain city here? Because Human Development Index has become one of the critical tools, or indices are this assess whether economy is doing well or not. Ask yourself, say, Ghana, your level, say in the city here, because I don't know put premium on the individual like watching a foul. Will literacy level? What says to capital credit today? Your friend is saying even lifespan. Then I say for like value your life, how quality that particular life is. And no, I bet me I'm going to certain linkage. We say economy in our boa, I must be watching a life. I cost and I say ayakama. But when these things are not part of the discussion, never just figures, numbers. Now we are just throwing them around. Meaning, I know the day no, we will end up fooling ourselves because I was expecting say, and government this certain initiative, Baba, like I said. We are moving away from taxation to production. That is the promise Akufo-Addo made. Some of us believe said that was the best way to go. I have set up factories and then as a farmer man for your Sanya mano, and to me, Emma on paper, they are telling you say 176 factories are already operating in this particular Chroma. I'm asking that maybe home factories no more sisi because in reality I don't see any Ghanaian say obi hu factory bi we be adwuma na what be say the contribution to GDP na saying because we should be able to value that and they know what exactly is going on. Sa niema we na betimi aboa yen abema leaders no must be start to think outside the box because we had the way a Chinese economy acting ya babedu we be ababedru ya. We said there was a time na you cry over say cedi no and the dollar no a devalue.
Yeah.
And my crisis kroma say and you ask yourself say your mind sabi production e yan kase yetimi produce ye nema factories in as for ya that we may not have cause to worry about whether the dollar is devaluating or not because in China they deliberately decide say on me devalue the Chinese yuan say be ye betimi still local your first businesses because for instance people have a taste for iPhones and then as for them so this is what they did. They devalued the Chinese yuan to the stand. So we are China near answer na betimi aboa Chinese yuan no ba ano nya dollar we dey kwakoto iPhone no unia na che say we see kan you Japan nyina no aboa ano so you will be forced to buy Huawei, you will be forced to buy phones yeah no within China. So I know the day no sa niema no eboa ema production na se focus so within the Chinese economic toolbox na sabi yeah te high dollar no ekofoma na yesu no omo no they turn it around to ensure say ekofom kra sabi they can use it to turn the economy around and on that my dimu ene omabedru baby omabedru so we need people who are visionary say we betimi the policies betimi transform the life of the people not just throwing these numbers around thinking say you can fool people and at the end of the day no just like that now one of the policies here they ban here if any say we are na here can say me no pardon na say for no na Ghana for esu say on family utin some okogina okokan or say companies no mo ye pad no kroma no so mo kra raw material na ba VAT free and na your friend is saying at the port no is zero. Ask yourself say capacity of local companies no mo yes our say it's less than 30%. So another day or more crap pad no in their finished form there ba no there is no tax relief, tax incentive for them. So they will be selling at the same rate. So those few way no more less than 30% no no kroma no they have to adjust their price. And those producing, those importing, at the same level. So at the end of the day, that particular money, or that particular relief, now, it will not be passed down to the consumer, but rather somebody will pocket that particular money. Because I'm making sure say, or no one crab and a dog, will be selling at the same price just to make gains. But as a serious government, you read out intervention, say, as a deliberate policy, we are making sure say local enterprises no more your friend is saying. Pardon us for no. Yes, Shamukina to ensure say Ghana for Ankasabe produce part and in the next 5 or 10 years, there will be no your friends say incentive for anybody say or carbon or crap part because my culture say on my so you identify the needs of the people, daily needs of the people, then you make sure so you produce those things so that at the end of the day, one first come carbon since I fan because yet your mind will your lands all over. Ask yourself, so why will somebody in Ghana in the 1 year a bet me over $525 million? Vietnam and quite over $200 million from Ghanaians. Why? This is a country coming out of a war. All of a sudden they've realized that agriculture and furniture and as for they can use it to turn the economy around. And Kakrano say Ghana to me for 200 million and over Vietnam alone koto mobile. Ask yourself how much other countries are buying. So can't we follow suit? This is a president who came and told Ghanaians that he's moving away from taxation to production. Production, absolutely nothing is being done apart from the usual political rhetorics. They come around, they throw it around just to because they know say Ghanaians are very emotional people. Now then they go their way. That is exactly the kind of your friend is a budget and me where I said I don't see any hope because economy will be there 7 years deliberately. I said not decimating or breaking into pieces. You can't use a year. And as any policy intervention, be a what budget to Emma, Ubet Major say because of A, B, C, D, Abina Yebibi, and Ghanaians must brief certain hopes and Yama Baye. Sana, I didn't acquire, and Yansa, the die is cast. And I think, say, that is why absolutely nothing better be at me coming from the budget economy at the hot trasa and I yet why. So we are just hoping, say, this particular 1 year, Ghana for betting me nothing because baby it's a very terrible way. Says yeah, economy who is suspending a payment. Mponio. payment in a year.
Yeah.
I think the debt service then as a form of amortization somewhere around 50 billion Ghana cedis. Who converted to dollars as saying. A certain Sikana IMF, yeah, from Hono. And this is a government and the priority is the amount of money they are getting from IMF as we sit until a certain memorandum of understanding with our external creditors. First one, and they give us a waiver. But the second one, we need to sit on the table with them and have a discussion with them. We own the Paris Club by $1.9 billion. We own China $1.7 billion. We on the Eurobond market is $13 billion and over. And some of your bilateral creditors today, other way, Sikana Guane over somewhere around $28 to $30 billion. And that's a yes, so ask yourself, say, how are we making deal with these people to ensure, say, be some understanding, be able to and sana. Second trench in Yansaka. So, second trench in is contingent upon the kind of discussion and agreement. So, this is how far these people are shredded the economy. My economy is hope behind him. And on this basis, and you build a discussion, they say, there's nothing because all the promises that they made to Ghanaians about the economy, because 2016, that was the kind of comment they were making. They were told us, John Mahama was borrowing recklessly. John Mahama was doing blah, blah, blah. But at least, if nothing at all, if you look at the infrastructure-wise, the kind of nyama a course under John Mahama, no, many sure say because some of the nyama no cry like Oko Kumase. Yeah, Afari Hospital, ya Kangudamane Tumfo, and Namesra Sramamfosika. Ask yourself, say, why will anybody on his right senses allow such monumental edifice and rot in the bush? I just talking with the state of the art equipment in as a forum. Say, look at Saglime and other places. And then the government is comfortable thinking, say, oh, I can just leave all these things around. Now, no, cause or cut sort for a new housing project. Oh, your friend saying, Kumasa Quino so baby. I say, which government on his right senses will do this? But Akufo-Addo has decided, say, he doesn't give a damn about the Ghana for can do back in his twisted mind, whatever he thinks is right, that is what he will do. And I think that Ghana will be the nation is teetering on the brink of a possible crash. Now, see, I never be to remedy the situation. Situation because youth unemployment arises to a fever pitch. And we need to do something. Oh, remember what happened in the Middle East? I have said that North Africa, Arab Spring, it's because of youth unemployment. Because youth unemployment threatens national security. Because another make us say, we now kokra wadi 80 years or Timothy so kwa kojo before. Always coming back to the youth or desperation or near Juma. Until we a government now we are serious. You need to ensure at least youth unemployment, the Baba Yard, you deal with it. But this is somebody, he doesn't even care whether youth are, your friends say, well, Juma ya, na see near Juma, because you are Juma ya, now you're very serious. Will you ask yourself, so my watching ya, nam, the work time of mine, see cathedral at this crucial time. On my Sabi, Nyama Saminko ye, Bank of Ghana governor, Betimania, the M to go there, say, me see a new, all new way, your friend is saying, office. Abra on my on one kasa boka over 68 billion Ghana cedi in the history of this particular country. I'm not sure say any single state agency beat me I incur such loss.
60.8 billion.
Exactly. Convert that to dollars. No be husika benya. On an amho and parliamentarians of course some demonstration against him. Tensemuna no catch call them hooligans. Obi or not the Bank of Ghana attending the place into a printing press. Printing money to finance government shady activities in Nasefono had the gut to refer to MPs, say omuye hooligans until date. Obianya no so unia Ghana for crisis na ye kan ho asem no enye deliberate say obi akot sit somewhere to contrive anything obi aboniti mekeka. These are the reality and you see they are fact anybody can relate. So it's not like obi tanya ban and obi can sama enim. Nsema me ye kan ye can't tell me and tell me, say, Abaya what Bob was here over 700 billion Ghana cedi within the space of 7 years, Ask yourself, say, no, because if John Mahama was borrowing recklessly, and at the end of the day, Oko Legon Hospital, not be medical school. Oko, your friend is saying, circle higher, na interchange way, and there are several other projects. I bet me standing the test of time. I bet me give you testimony. Go to Rich Hospital. Mayo School, now me koko your friend is saying clinicals. I saw it. And this is an all new modern way. What means that these facilities will stand the test of time. Ask yourself, say, under this, and this president will shamelessly will not do anything. Rather, no, near my man forces in up, no, not to tune it in. What is a recently or North Koto? your friend is saying UDS party with the to party for party for. A question will be all and I just on there buy a friend or body on but you do Sunday and on and I'm adoring as he said me would suggesting names. I had there for Toba. Now don't call me now the Toba na I think that is how politics has become in this country.
All right. Ivan Che Innocent and our tenant Kano.
The MPP will shift the focus of economic policy away from taxation to production. So we are going to move away from taxation to production. From taxation to production. The MPP will shift the focus of economic policy away from taxation to production. So we are going to move away from taxation to production. From taxation to production.
Okay, yanko yanim floral tissue sadaroma account be the Jumadin air brow, the toilet air roll air bar, your floral disposable handkerchiefs, and a floral air kits tissues. What the Beman Quadano, and their shom ho akosu cool. Asumdue Spiritual and Herbal Center. Asumdue Spiritual and Herbal Center. We a prophet blessed. Ebenezer Ajay and was seeing Ninkomo. Yes, we are see one baby in Sikwa, a 2 now tinema BS Yadibi, Aqua Conana Daus, one of them Runa and call Mr. Asumdue Spiritual and Herbal Center. Doctor say, and as a prophet, a year blessed. Ebenezer Ajay, say Emmanuel Ajay rather, a sebra, now face no encore moi, now on found Transi, Cobasa counseling on found for more. Obinya bere and wood in Coma Quachiri. Now, how na manibia etiti one and nay, abe conana dauswa, unyo bia obitimi abuano. Asumdue Spiritual and Herbal Center, prophets, blessed, Emmanuel, Ajay, Sebra, na encore Samuano. Yawa La Paz, Tabora, number 4, Alhaji, Quantimponeso, 0244 643012, and 0552 482786. 0552 482786. Mr. Kill, a product from Kunlun Ghana Limited. Mr. Kill, you remember Drew, Bema Utimi, now no more, a bit boosty immune system, no, I'm a knee, our quantity and what do na. Samson and strengthen waste, and it would need, said a bear, also so no bit me at twisted waste near Bema, so waste no twist here, would him say a yen sem cote. Na face so no, I share energy level, for more. And I say obepe Mr. Q nibi na one num now face so no amount overcome stress and fatigue. And no meaning come 0244 139 176. Joe Reg reality say a knee or more sassy could you bring idea, but you intimate first can answer cotton sassy. It is sassy ye tono 25,000 no a knee Joe Reg reality say to your 20,000 over deposit 30%. Now the account was spread it was 6 months more at the amount and Sassano Egu a ye chopoli eti carnation and so a more free bus Saturday and upon on song at the Wako yen office our community 22 Afarawa ye junction ye Bentema International School Michelle Camp Quantum Poniswa 0532 377 134 0532 377 134. Lion Aluminium and nay yeah the Blue Scope AM 150 self-clean color bond roofing sheet aba more coastal areas no you can for their mom. It's also our cooking utensils. It's a nay open service a hold on and nonsense service already did not the idea. I don't know the Lion Aluminium and the aye etikai na and so emame bano durability na would him say a mood to papa na a sanso a check. Etikai National and Somamia 0208239969. Coffee organic tiger nut powder. I attach some attach with the year. A 2 tie edi coffee organic tiger nut powder nibia a buoni podiano Emma a year immune system so no ejina naso a high in fiber. It is no boa for digestion. Etika National and so a year sugar problem and as a BPR. Tidy coffee organic tiger nut powder nibi ebeboa wankasa eni eni komo 0558 400 265 oba really good hanumwa obenya bi ensoso ato yanko yanim na yene honorable entwaso honorable Nicholas amankwa MP for Amenfi East. Honorable Akko elections. Remember, I'm so crab my na oko a year constituency, homeboy and a friend or eti mami enyina the constituency na name na mema homeboy Akwaba. Honorable. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What do my panel Akasadi amount? What do my panel Akasadi amount? And they are related to your constituency. They are monitored from afar. On Facebook, you say very active. Never be our way. Sorry, not the day for baby. Young Bonshao.
Thank you.
Congrats also.
Thank you.
It is a near second term, right?
Sure. Already, sure. The nana. Obia Shani say, Yabeko primaries now. Yeah, delegate Akasa. But looking at the results, 1,004 against 200.
1,004 against 200. I don't know. We only that man and deficit. Obe Cruzuna, Wabeho.
Yasidani Edimania Mena Edema, your constituency executive branch executive coordinator, Syria collects, party paying for regional executive, national executive. Now share or minor or share what salmon fees or minor because watching your collection, our backgrounds on the 24 Pragia riders paying for as of 4. Omun yina stomach grounds on the say mo endorse Nikuma na 2024 yenim say obeye DC yenim do to me ye enti abra ne papa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba no yenim de Niko betimi aye enti we are na victory no victory for Wasa Amenfi East obia enti ye da omo ase that we will continue to serve in humility na ya hwede nyame de ebedu enti me so me da obia ase.
All right.
Yeah, so much for giving us the platform, always.
I'm saying, now a matter of concern, man, because what we can't go to Busiana home and to go contest, I ain't to me outside. I have a friend from us, and they might say that. Once again, yeah, boy, Basso. What you might think I can say the amount. Thank you. Maybe I'm because more money DC panel about communication, more. Honorable Samuel, for example, what is this?
Oh, okay.
Anytime we are, me know na be share say no. Communication flow. Say moment na mo execute your buying this wedding ho. Ewo form ho no. Enti wo so obi aso yi ne yam po adwuma bia no. I think say party no ene Ghana for share no nyam. Enti congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, share budget. When we someone started debating in Parliament, and Ra, Nenas, I remember Ra Tuesday, you want to a crack. So far, and Krata, you never to him. Say, but your money echo. You seek some programs outdoor by person would go a queen, but be a Benesika. You name say, and no cock Bobby Salmon on here, a bad thing, dear. But budget deliberately, your deficit of 50 billion. I find your cocoa Fosicano near the above my obra. On a one come in Yen come on.
Yo, we are watching Mendawasi. And I'm in chair, I shall 4 near tier 4. And I'm in chair, Minya Ivan. I say, this is my first time I'm in chair.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm born Basso because I've been monitoring him.
Wow.
The platform. So, now he says something as I know, baby. Said, you what can you know, Diana Enim. Mean that you are speaking to facts.
Yeah.
And that's the reality. It is up to everybody say, Yebeji to me say Ghana, baby ananado, ye rabba umia di abeduni. I'm a constituent. So last Friday yana wasa amenfi. Ye mahin teteto kwa mwasechim. Oni atrankunya ye di afashe kesi efeno ye Edim Festival. Anti ye koye. Mene ya ye parliamentary candidate for Amenfi Central. Joan Akujo.
Okay.
And then paying for my party paying for support here. Now you buy an auntie asem there. We near 2 p.m. Call social media platform yeah by now in past 2 p.m. He's from my constituency.
Oh, okay.
Was a cropon gomisa. And say if you're done in Rina and a yanti say Otimoto synonymous to be Akulaidema Sebi was training kwa. Na me yaduma coming Tuesday and I see no aye gromesa. Eti me fa kwanya so share abusuan 4 day me maye nyina ya ho yako. Now let's come to the budget. Budget no any saying. na budget way na Minister of Finance senka will stay away and go to me, but now he was mandated to present the budget to Ghanaians. The more reason why he came. Now, this is the major last budget at the year 2024 under Nanado administration. If there will be any other budget, that will be mid-year review on the Rebecca say adjustment or realign. Now we share budget here that's here. Say we a multilateral, ne bilateral. Kofa ye di omuka e wa manonia because of IMF ntino. Omu hu ye moba ye say ya suspend the payment ye debt ye ntuaye. Ina sanki ye tuya ye debt kameka che Ghana enka your mind Ghana kra no enka man say e won ye fa. Because wo hwe aban eka e na odi abeja ye Ghana. Ekwa a okwa yi odi ahokire e na de abeja Ghana. Yewura na na do ne ba omia ekwa omu koi omo de eye adwuma ho ye den e na omo de bejan. But Sudan Kenya me say we have a visionary former president called His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You are watching this budget. And kade na na went me anya ma ye kura ni Yewura ba omia no. E say nko ma hope. Say asay ye ko nenso afa na ani aba ye ho so. Until last minute there, this is what we have for Ghanaians. But our budget here is empty. This budget is empty.
I don't know. My printing is like it.
Enuni, empty. And this is no sha. Me am free. I'm free is constituency. The minimum say amemwo say your budget say your den. Any man for no asitnemu. Overshare aye o poverty index. It is a wokroma. The happiness of your people, their standard of living. It is a wokroma. And no any affair na memu. Now we share a year budget here. And now the down for the buyer. Provision beyond where chair say a juma beba. Emma and unemployment rate and this year breast 8.4. No more say Omati could be a friend unemployed association or so no. Sisiano ye wo a year 14 to 15 a year percent. Obi aye din wo krom ha no. Sisiano John Dramani Mahama all call rounds. Unless for some over that night, policy ana NDC aban ede ba no na ya ntiase inti eye allowance amoka asembetian 2 years down the line you've not been paid inti nanado tuyamaye na yenu ye ho no inti budget no the budget was empty, the budget doesn't give hope, and the only hope left now for Ghanaians ne say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebeba na ye watoye na fantastic thing. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, waka na oya, ama me imagine di more. Let me say he is the only hope left for Ghanaians. They say, Usha Emra Yewura ba omia when he was elected after their Congress or conference to lead the party into 2024. Nanko babaye Muslim, Christian, or babaye that kind of politics no. By His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the visionary leader, Sisi Adie, what diverted Efisadi no ho say he is going into 2024 with policy. And to after budget, omoba present we ubetie civil society organizations, ubetie individuals, ubetie even MPP for na kasa. Omo hu say Sisi Ghana no, see the party called MPP nisi nchen. Near share how collectively you bet me about together to salvage this country, this economy from where now the down Kufuado and Yewura ba omia kujina. Into Obia discuss a year 24 hours economy. And I watched the video. Now, after watching the video, no, I was taken aback. I was just scandalized. The reason being that Yewura ba omia, knowing to be the head of the economic management team in this country. Now all call rounds near presenting budget. Previously, Minister of Finance present budget. He comes with a minister. Not those from Ministry of Finance. But this budget, Yewura ba omia was nowhere to be found. Finance Minister Nkwane Baye. Even debating even the budget, you know. Andrea, that was Air Finance, you know. Even some of their members were absent because some of them have decided to disassociate themselves from this budget. meters use no be using time of usage. Into no hours I use no almost me a time no more calculate a percentage used no more the abelo. Near Ramhamaka say, may year a year 24 hours no a may wholesale. There's going to be a strategic and deliberate policy. Even though everybody knows say a year radio station be more running or can say choba running. But what is the government's deliberate a year policy to create employment? Now when him say unemployment now say budget way I can't want them say these are the measures are binding their tool to create room for the teaming unemployed youth no ibenya adwuma no ebiamba. So Yura Mahama can see recently we were in Hall 4. That was last year for post budget a year workshop. Mini abuache 7 p.m. na ma shorty fuel. It's me driver ko krom se koto fuel. Station ni nyina pon. Go the regional capital enumre 7. Oma close. Mobile money yenye binye. The reason being that I say na sa period no aye am Roberts aye dey. Sorry. It's a visionary leader. The all can say he's coming to strengthen our security. Ne give you room. I'm man for our pretty. Never know him say Ghana. Adia ma a year product be produced in Ghana Hano. A cost the cost of production. What goes into the cost of production? We have something called variable cost and fixed cost. Oba aye energy, aye electricity, radio gold, electricity aye fixed cost. Emma aye this aye company. It's your buying say those who be ready. Some will be running aye 24 economy no. And a juna, what yet some will be jumano. The government is going to provide special meters. The government, people, I said to myself, means that when we come to power, Yura John Mahama is going to seek for funder. It will serve as a stimulus package. And that stimulus package, once the government own a ECG, you know, the stimulus package will not be that money I ECG for. But this sector, what comes to the government, you know, the government say, I absorb it. I don't need any direct revenue from more. No more decide somebody Jumana Jono. Give them this tariff. And when it happens like that, it's going to boost air production. Because when him say, Orani Juma and Opa, Edukwenumre, Nana Jono, the tariffs never former. They'll be ready to employ people. In the night, no more Yajuma. Juma because production in the night never come from no. It will help reduce the production cost. Or no Obama etikesi or that some daepa. The sanitary part. What say Oba be a year taxes a fees? You can do it now and succeed. I am Crocodile John. Because when him say the companies in Ghana operating or producing a year sanitary pad, they can't meet the demand. So people will still opt for a year imported ones. And when they are opting for imported ones now, we know what deliberate effort is this government doing. So what we were expecting, Yura Kenoforiata, na now the Danko for them Baomiane say, sanitary pad, Ababaya dia can one assembly. Then companies are produce that dano. This is the package we have for them, like stimulus package. That will help them expand production. So with 1 year or 2 years, some would be produced to meet the demands of the people. That's where I say, Sadia, what will be free outside Bebebiano? This is the tariff. If you're able to pay, then we are got to go. We go all come marketer. Your taste and preference will not be the same. The government failed to do that. And also, this budget here, here. Yura Mahama, the 24 hours economy, TUC, were coming. Because when him say a Juma, as I stated earlier, say a Juma Sem is a security threat to this country. And I buy the Waba, Yura Mahama, say Ghana man, a coin 2016, no ruling my bedu Samray, a really a year 2016 election bedu Samray, Ghana, and it be a one. Now the more the Casade. Today in Parliament, when the debate was going on, energy sector, Deputy Minority Leader, Yura, what is it, Amakofibua, told them, so when you guys were coming, must say excess capacity, because you say we name the relevance and the essence of energy. The excess capacity, and I want to say, our communities, Obama constituency, community may be on a Kania. You hang it transformer 7 years down the line. Yeah. But in Kronki 2 when we are able to expand electricity to That's where industrialization drive na yekano ebetumi aba, because what a responsible government no yen say you create enabling environment for private business to thrive. Inti abra wa providing electricity eco villages near the end. Then you identify a special commodity village na say constituency a produce so that they will hook on into the electricity. Me no ka say NDC yekobo bosia $1 billion from China to build that Atwabo gas pipeline. Am I rely much on pipeline coming from Nigeria? The same pipeline in returns, am I $300 million every year? But now Dubai even returns na san kwayeka. Sonka even Atwabo gas pipeline 7 years, 8 years down the line, 3 by 8. Yes, Senka a can ye bosian ye koboya. Inka you got to go. Energy sector no was stabilizing. That's where all the industries near the eba. It is only under Nanado Yeraba Omia Breso. And he has a planting for food and job. Now the more they plant, the lesser we harvest.
The more they plant,
the lesser we harvest.
I didn't hear.
Say planting for food and job. I am buying this Sikakushem. What has been the impact? Because in this budget, the Sikaya they call crack and move. Yeah, they got crack tomatoes even from Burkina, Jene from Mali, terminal. It is huge sums of money. Then you ask yourself, say, planting for food and job, what are we targeting? Until now, by the way, they are good at rhetorics. Obeke can planting for food and job, one village, one dam. You ask yourself, say, dams ni na wahi. Until under Yera John Dramani Mahama, Oba 2024 and beyond, no. Yediban say, lighter na no. We are coming to use the lighter. You hook on to the various companies on use to light now produce. MPP are buying the same budget. They were telling us say SS capacity. Almost 2 years SS capacity mama boka. They were not able to prove it. 2, almost say saying take or pay. And so almost 3 contract almost saying this electricity and another. For 2023, they are growing electricity by 0.39. Electrification
but you crashing be one more Yawaya stolen said they were 7 years because Oko Western Regional. Maybe not no crassy. The floor upon you. I remember and said more time no. And you crack it to be seen. And now, why are crying in a cuckoo nothing name, a beer, kutuno near you know, why is not I ready? Transform and hungry. Another a village, I from one nakum. I can't say one of the main way to be few on my call.
Okay.
Ever seen there? Me, I mean, no crew upon my team, and I know a guy pa. Upon my 2 o'clock, I said, no, be seen there. I know Swaka. So, 7 years. Yeah.
No, Oba was a Kumasi Johnson, Brasso, Jikoto, Oko, what is it? Vapro. Comment to be a hanging transformer. It's left man say, you was studio to outside. Yeah. Tap to the high tension. So it's still there. A by way, near in crooked to a year, no buy it. Omo buy someone who year, dear moon. Nasan Kentisa. Share this baby a year do no. It's no more MPP NDC. What share your rice, Excellency John Dramani Mahama? I'm coming from Western Region. Western Region. First na gapo for almost share a year pot in a son. Almost quite juma 8 a.m. No more point 5 p.m. By you Ramahama buy it take a soda or some diaper. Or see a yeta crowd harbor expansion. Yet harbor expansion. Yedibi Meridian Port Service MPS. As we speak now, Okotama harbor a running 24/7. This is the government. Ghana phone you any down swear. GM Sabrebim. Look at this. Abaya was so. Revenues are inflows are 1 year in Chroma 344 billion Ghana cedis.
344
billion Ghana cedis revenue 1 year in Chroma. Your His Excellency John Dramani
Mahama. What's it?
Revenue.
Wow.
Revenue Awagada. Share this government. We introduce a 32 taxes. But they promised some more banner say they were going to move this economy from taxation to production.
32 taxes.
32 new taxes. And I walk by COVID-19 tax can Shabola tax can you ask yourself, say, Shekroma fi aye. Shensu to ana odoi bufaso. So Bola tax no. What has been the benefit to the people? But you are still paying. COVID-19 tax. Oko eye kolebu dialysis. Shenkofo mu ni enye sika ye de kwe cathedral. The cathedral was not captured in this budget. It takes Ghanaians to say, na ye ka say abayi anama otu so basic cathedral. Abra ye ni hospitals, abra ye ni nsuo no. It was wrong. People back them. As you speak now, cathedral na kaho. It wasn't captured in this budget. It means say cathedral na manano akaho Ghana boka.
Amanana ayakwa.
Ayakwa.
Ajaye drawings nkwa it's over 100 million.
Ekono etumiya Rich Hospital phase 2.
Drawings nkwa.
Eketumiya Rich Hospital phase 2. Last time you called demonstration I said, "On my ben na ye mebu na ya ba no, that ben na ye wo." So bi abobosia, we dey see Rich Hospital. Na Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana, you are not into commercial banking. We are regulator. Utmi boka. No one say yesika. What's would you see a year edifice for floor as your your office near to Chroma, yenye pamani yede a support it because of the obibenya few months here. Till 2024. Watch it. It's not more about NDC MPP. We are going into the election with experience. Now I was listening to a former MPP National Secretary Yura Into. Now Into. He says, sir, Yura Bawumia wasn't a card-bearing member of the party.
Yeah.
But Nanado told them, say, the experience he has garnered from Air Bank of Ghana, any normal way into Oba, economy no Babua, MIA. But Yura Bawumia Bayano, under Yura Bawumia leadership, as the head of the economic management team, what are we seeing now? He's running away from the core mandates in Zia, Nanado didn't buy it. Shana, yes, you want to say, Yura, is it? Omomusaki Omobako, the former Zongo minister, no, what's the name? Boniface. Abubakar. Ono, in an oye, minister of Zongo development. Abani, you know, no, the neighbor office of the presidency, or the call vice president office, on Yera Baumiana na ye Juma. But Yera Boniface said, on Yera Baumiana ye Juma, Omunina a Muslim for. Now, so you opted for Yera Lanchamatin. Because we say Yera Baumia, he doesn't fit. Say, Omudin Bedi partner him, now or the Ghana, Akoba Biodoko. Samson Yera Kenya Japan, onya 37%. And we almost just ended election, no. Ebakache and say, a bunny Numa ya. Yera Baumia Nanado, they have no clue. In TMP before him no more to Abama Yera Baumia. But Biomani Yera Mahama Bejina Biano, you couldn't debe Yera Mahamadia. Because him said, Yera Mahama Bressono. Aye taxes are Yahunu Kroma Nebinia. Yura Mahama Bressono. We went into Challenger. When you have been was Mahama Bano the Doom Soba. Many abuache, Momwa, Nagana phone in Antiasia. See the na Minia Ivan can. We have to explain things for Ghanaians to get the reality. Maybe I have to say. Doom so Yura Baumiana says, sir, Mahama can never claim glory for solving a problem or no akosi. And you Doom so no, Yura Mahama and Kofa and Fibe been a buy. He came to inherit it. Yet to come her, President Kufuor Bresso, now Bob's webbing ho, near Frebobi, a jolly Bob.
Yeah.
Or by a village's now, Bob Copano. And you are Kufuor, doom so body among folk Kojina Koso Bodamu, a bomb pie, no the energy saving Bob by. Satam not the population of Ghana is saying, Yura Muhammad Tikasho Dasum Dae. The visionary leader say, no, we have to make a clear move to fix this challenge. And on your own, your Kofa Mary Baye. You go for a year at Twabo gas plant buyer. You ma MPP buy 8 years young Baby Remu ANSC. They've not even added a peswa, a penny, a megawatt input into your national grid. Now, nothing almost signed contract. Contract almost signed me and sending you now. And so, yeah, take or pay. As they were chastising NDC for doing so, almost all by the same thing.
A new energy contract no more.
New energy 3 and the contract no more.
Almost signed 3.
3. Take or pay.
But SS, some say SS one.
Ask yourself, sir. That's a question. That is a question. And then the deputy minority leader, former minister of air energy, Yerama Kofibua Ombusomo. What is SS capacity? What is SS capacity? Villages says here who on to the national grid. You haven't done it. So over here, companies would have gone there to operate. Obama constituency. Community I know who say community a company bianco. Who kwa one who shake crown, who some or wa, yen wajuma. No more their background. That's created employment for the people. There's a more reason why here Ghana for so much to answer. Me no say cocoa board and something saying
Cocoa board.
cocoa board aban we the backbone a Ghana's economy. It is saying your rose it is saying China and say report aba the say say a touch solar touch millions of cities. Abra now the cocoa crack cocoa say Udu cocoa akon Ukrainians can point to our car. And another regime. Abra ye budgeta ye pegasa fee ye kababoni ye say we don't project say we are doing business to get what is it revenue or earnings or profit. We are projecting rather say ye kababon be minimizing. What is this government doing? This budget it doesn't give any clear cut. It doesn't show where say a buying kasano or a cut the expenditure size. Because if say since you want to make Korea almost 50 billion deficits, now you can't go to the outside market to borrow. So what the government, responsible government, say you cut down expenses, so that the whole say revenue now here no companies no bet to the companies since you want the tax e go almost so. Oman for no crampon so oman tom no the someone to me akwabontin no more patronizing what is on the market. So why are you going to get that 176 billion targeted revenue? They told us say e-levy Ekobama utiyo ya una ya kwan ye bibia e-levy where is it now? So
All right.
Now Obian say 2024 no it's not MPPs no NDC but Ghana ye di no obi obetnia savage ye the why be da the okan why the track record rare nobody can dispute it no. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Nobody MPs ni na kan ho. Na minia boache. Ya the Ghana akosi because it's only His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. No betimi aboa ni revive this dead, damaged, dead, distressed economy.
Honorable Nicholas Amankwa, Member of Parliament for Amenfi East and Motene Kano, creating a 3-shift economy, giving Ghana's small market size of only 31 million and a per capita income of $2,200. There will be an aggressive promotion of exports, which will lead to a demand in labor to meet increased production for both domestic consumption and exports. To accommodate this anticipated demand for Ghanaian goods and services, the next NDC government will create a 3-shift economy, especially in manufacturing and other high-end services that operates 24-hour non-stop. The additional 2 shifts will be a source of additional employment. Companies that currently operate 24 hours with only 2 shifts of 12 hours each in violation of the labor law, which specifies a maximum of 8 hours, will be required to run 3 shifts, and thus creates a 3rd stream of jobs. When you NDC a year 2020, the People's Manifesto, portions in Ibina Yakinkai a day a mamono. My nanny Hombra Yaba Ivan Obeteneka.
Yeah, Mama.
Why ya?
Oh no, Quanun or Cohi. Your friend, Mamma Media sign. Found the Usi Union who drew. And then Remo PC Herbal Center. And then Fidie, a Shushani Pedremu. Now the Ahenra FDA. And Giatu
construction companies, garbage collection companies, mining and extractive industries, agro-processing industries, harbors and ports, financial services, digital startups, and BPOs will operate preferably a 3-shift system 24/7 in an atmosphere of safety and security. Heightened security needed for a 24-hour economy will also provide for safer cities and thereby, in effect, boost tourism. This 24-hour economy initiative I propose will be voluntary. It will not be imposed. Businesses will be encouraged to sign up with tax incentives provided for them and enhanced security and lower electricity tariffs. After peak hours, special meters will be employed to provide what is known as time of use tariff to deliver cheaper power to such businesses during especially the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 a.m. 24-hour economy I propose is for jobs, jobs, and more jobs. And to render it simply, Ejumano Kofi Beyebi, na Salif Fonso Ayebi, na Enyunam Ayebi, na Kote Onso Ayeniakano. In this land of opportunity, there is very much we can do. There is much we can do even now to turn things around.
Lancashire exams. Lancashire exams. Lancashire exams. Since I've done headache at my students because you can't see get me both to every report. Not my son for quite so, or my son for quite so. As you see, I say, Yafeli, Yantiman Passe, Abra, Yatman trap 4 good years at our college. Not my son for quite so. I hear Kulunibi, I say. Where they are strong, said, John Dramani Bahama, what's I'm back? When you be found, Lancashire exams, any students allow us.
Licensure exams, you can watch them 2020. You can't hold that. You can't watch them that 2020. And to assume say. And you say, what is the colleges of education? No, at the Omochre and Quadano, a new Pempens, a baby, a was a draw. I was so young, Bibi. Na Omutimi a yomo exams, no mupie. A year then and Quada, on Babat Training College, 4 years. No mature exam. Amphibia Omochro exam. Amphibia Omochro exam. A drew 4th year, no mature final exam. No more passing. You pass here, we are just on my teacher for no. No, as workers say, almost a bachelor exam, bibium, and son of my Joma to be some teacher for. Ain't yet there, see a bar, Lancashire exam, no, you be here free. Near she share your bay.
Trainee allowances and an increased investment in education in this country was a key part of building this new Ghana, a transformed Ghana, a modernized Ghana, and a prosperous Ghana. And so we made a number of promises that if God gave us the chance to be in government, we will deliver these promises to the people of Ghana. As you know, politicians are not really known or expected to keep their promises. Usually when you make a promise, it is viewed very skeptically as maybe an attempt at a 419 scheme to hoodwink the voters. You know.
Ivan, Yantisim, Yatiasim, John Mahama Tor. Na yabobon semino do na so 24-hour economy as a year a jinhini yi papa enya sem ketua binim se be yi binim se nyi binim se be yi binim se nyi ni nyina no niema ekokoso now wabobo niema bi so teacher licensure exams wabobo your friend is saying allowance ya na necessary allowance. They are trying to create also a bar or making sure say cashew marketing board. So the cocoa board for a one board or more regulated cocoa. They determine producer price now they are in cashew funds being home the India for them MFN free MCO. Mami Gio.
Yes,
because it's an alternative solution here.
Yes, because I think it's a casano and solve a problem.
Yeah.
Ghana for looking at the nature and the economy, I can't say baby Rachel and Nema and Koye. future and my culture says short term, long term, medium term, and look bleak. It's quite uninspiring now. We a young man are hoping say maybe future be able be baum. So Ghana for a solution. And I think that okay nurses allowance once I meet I've been a beneficiary of nurses allowance those days and any power school. But it got to a point that you ask yourself, say, what is the sense in it? So we go school now bring access to that particular money. Now we school now but if you have skills now to be fine. So now there was the need for government to make massive commitment to infrastructure. Say set up hospital because the very moment a hospital is built, you know, and carpenter in a nurse and so there was the need for us to build a lot of health infrastructure. Say automatically, you know, a creative job mama for be. Because over the years, our MPP manifesto slogans are modern social intervention. Sabi, most of the discussion are dominating. Ask yourself for a social intervention program. Be a bit me associated within a context of social infrastructure. Because you need to provide that infrastructure for that particular intervention to take off. For instance, what's a free maternal care? Free maternal care, yeah, no parking so. And your hospital. Yeah. So somebody need to build a hospital. So what can say free school now, whatever, free school, you can't whatever. And your school. Yeah. So that social infrastructure now must be, somebody must invest in those things. So that was the communication, but and now Kufuado as usual, Babontimbe D Ghana for Trogu Ghana for the say nurses, no allowance, no and Ghana for always, you know, immediate gratification. That is what we want. And the people hooked on to those things. And they use those things as a strategy to hoodwink nurses into believing, say, Akufo-Addo was the baby, I watch it to baby or already to nurses. I speak to a lot of them. Bebre we school about Tinafia Sikano or Monsanka, and those who mum crab there, nothing is going. So Ababa massive deception, and I buy not for Guamoso and Omoko, and Ababa way. So and Obia who say. Sankada promise in the Sanka Yensi hospitals are Cassia Yensi hospital na nurses and common quay Juma Nasabi Omunya Sika Ajuma. A bit me take care of them forever. No, and no woman and Yansa woman and yes, Jikodi na we have a betinafie because Jikodi no we have a betinafie. I know the Yansa by in the womb. Skills and a crass would be a Jumano. As a result of this particular problem here by a significant number of nurses are going to most of them are in the UK. Oh, Muya Juma. Say, Oko Hospital, nurse patient ratio is quite low. A world standard, no, we can't even meet. We have nurses sitting at home, but the capacity to employ these people to go into mainstream to work for people, no, and consistently, out of frustration, these people are exiting the shores of this country, and government is not coming up with any intervention. I said, budget here, Babonting. Now I was hoping that government bad say over the years. The number of nurses exiting the shores of this particular country, seeking greener pasture elsewhere, no, a significant impact on our healthcare system. Then, as for and the government had a deliberate policy to curb this menace. What's the they don't care. So I know that they know it's just about the vote, keke. But politics, no, it's not just about vote, keke. Politics, no, put to premium on NIPA the Senise yeba to take care of human welfare. That is central. And then teacher training allowance here, teacher training license here, as I'm saying, you ask yourself, say, what is the problem? What are we solving? Because me, over the years, now me advocate say sabi training na yede more mono. Maybe say muno na yebe shemu kana amasabi or maybe very competent. That is when we feel that maybe what we desire, no, we are not getting it because the one of the largest points of socialization, you're renting it to the world, no, through school at the early stage. At that particular early stage, you know, you need a very competent person to take care of the Akra because Akra never nitishi the kind of moral orientation, the kind of psychological way no benyano, and the better foundation, a building up. So one you're careful. Now one money pass be our experience, now what's be knowledge be and handle na. Akrano will end up becoming whatever that you don't want him to become. Because research has proven look in the United States of America, oko prisoner. Most of the people in prison are people at the early stage, you know, they live in foster homes. Omuni mame over there they are treated like candidates. And yet, so the thing called affection, love, they didn't have access to those things. So Akranu grow as a candidate within among his friends. It has always been a struggle for survival. And the other side, or Mengewo society, I didn't find empathy, sympathy, or nibi because they still feel a struggle, no sir. So, umba society, that is why most of them end up in prison and as a for no. So, first point of your first socialization, which is the school, no, is key. So, person will handle over to obia. You must be sure, say, be akrano, call nipa, onim, nimdia. I'll bet me a impact on akrano. Over the years, the schools, no be obia or tro. Your first secondary school exams one pass it. When you're English, when you're maths, when you're science, and then fan coach ideas are not cram cramo and crana all by we are say trying to build or I think or starting at the bia for the kind of orientation you will shape his life. What this nature argument. I can sit here and tell you say nature about 80% impact on our development. And you might not want to hand over a child to such way. And as a government, what's not who this particular challenger? The solution to this annual essential exams. Okay. So what will be a media argument in the free banner? So one who said there is a problem, a fundamental problem. Solution and yet essential exams. Because what even goes into that particular essential exam? Last year, reports about one thing, and some of them, some or more church or no questions or more answer has absolutely nothing to do with anything. So I think that some of these things, let's put to premium say training, you know, and I said, yes, mukena, quite recently, who video a soldier for police for. Now ask yourself, say, these people, no, do we even subject them to psych evaluation from time to time to understand their state of mind? Because you see, obi oha, yeah, police and soldier, but Obama in Niama no buhuno, some of them develop trauma and then as a form and psychologically there was a lot of impact on them. So how are we ensuring, say, the kind of training they man for no and they're better? So as government, you know, you spend your time fixing these fundamentals, but not say make of license exams about a munchron pass and send you who said the partner qualify and I say on your qualify. So I think say there were people who really think as a banger or game or minor. These are some of the interventions that have wasted time. So an attempt to scrap it, you know me, I wholly subscribe to it because I think they're necessary. Rather than it has become an impediment. But going forward, you know, training na yedimo teacher for na NDP mu say be ya ebe hu say first point of socialization na ba be your friend say school because oh ba at that early stage, you know, time of spending with you know it's such a time of spending with school. Significant amount of their time they spend with teachers. So imagine handing your child to a fool to just give him that particular early stage training. So you need competent people. So at that point, you know, I think that is what we need to do. The last one has to do with this 24-hour economy. See? So we take discussion politics a contest of ideas. Where there is a problem, so if the proposal, John Mahama say on the 24-hour economy, the best thing you can do in politics is to come out with a counter argument that is superior and far better than what he's suggesting. But you don't just play it around. And your friends saying example side is a trouble for running night. Come on, what kind of politics is this? Trouble for a running night and running 24-hour economy. You see, I think we need to credit our listeners with certain modicum of wisdom. Now, young country almost say we have certain superior mind. I bet we have certain insight and understanding to a certain level. That is why we are assuring them say bet me solve problems. Because some of these things, you see, say we got 24-hour economy. It's just a blanket cover kekeo. And never BBR, but what actually goes into it, you know, any money 24-hour economy. The 24-hour economy is just a description. Because any policy intervention, it's just a blanket, air cover something. So ask yourself, what is it covering? That is what you need to interrogate. Because within the economy need to run 24 hours. It means that factories must be running. We have a lot of them in play. Because new money are running 24 hours. So if a deliberate policy, what it means is the government must make conscious effort to ensure say factories a bit running that hour no will be enough. Say be to me a meeting local way the BIA can numa seminar as a forum and unemployment which has become a challenge. Say it means setting up tomato factory around 24/7. At the end of the day, you know, people will be running shift. You create employment for people, and then productivity output will be high. At the end of the day, the amount of money at the carbon say 30 tomato abano, it will no longer go. So we have capital staying in this particular country. You have construction company. Your mom ya crying. When I'm crying, so a daytime and a pound for many are blocking crying. So if these people at the end of the day, you know, are all working 24 hours, every pound will be about 12. So at the end of the day, you know, there will be some kind of economy, you know, will assume a certain pace. So I think that is the kind of intellectual discourse we must activate. Now you're making sure, say, I have a superior counter argument that is far better than what John Mahama is proposing. And to me, I think say economy no, this is way near. But at this time, Bawumia has no credibility. I'm telling you that they are Ghanaians. Omoko 2024 vote in some Kwakotwaba. That's a Bawumia na Kokokra and a ballot paper no swa. They will vote for Akoko because they have no trust and confidence in their vice president.
I didn't hear.
Because this is a man who has sufficiently demonstrated to Ghanaians you can't trust him. He's a liar. And you see what they projected him to be, I just had it here. We will go back and look at his tweet in 2016 when he was telling bastardizing John Mahama and the NDC administration said, he was insensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. Dollar no became one of the central team. A lot of lectures telling people today, what is the dollar? Today, and Bosiana no kasa ye bono. Bosiano ne level the same. Ne debe ne de sa Bosiana. Yasi aban bie no betimi aba okasa ombo Bosia. But obo Bosiana de na wo de ye. Ask yourself, say, what is the significant and any monumental project Akufo-Addo aba? Obetimi akasa me ba ye. Maye we standing the test of time. Honorable na no ba parliament and no can saying free SHS.
Yeah.
The amount of money he quoted is around 8 point something. Na si obi a bobo say over 700 billion no na sa what your friend say 8 point something and year school fee there. Can you conclude that school fee in the Grand State at saying go and look at the kind of misery students are being subjected to and they no media babeyasem. So you see me say the idea that Bawumia is contesting for president in 2024 no, it's an insult to every intelligent mind in this country. Because the guy has a track record. It's not as if say he's coming from the moon. He has been around, chairman of the economic management team. Who the weight, the and the economy is there. Yes, that is why I wanted us to discuss the economy. Economy need template. So this is the man who has led the charge for this particular thing, and he's telling you that today we should put him at the driving seat. We a serious minder. Will you even consider him as an option?
All right.
That is the argument that we need to activate.
Yanko yenim Ghana Revenue Authority krabata wo mataheko say no munin komo say enche wo back on a year mass tax compliance exercise and a registration. All taxpayers are more within a year south or dock or dance Sumana Bosokai, Kolebu, Mamprobi, and then its environs. A brasson say, unim say, a jumabi ao ye so to ya to ma banya, mestre so bitia. It ye pesewado hoba, now by was said ye. Outstanding a year ibiano, wabra, nebra be was sadie. Yen pesi ebeti yen officers na gukrum na ababe ngwase e de amount enti yesrewa obe locate yen office no yene Accra Academy Senior High School no ene die no hwe Dr. Buzia Highway Kwantepon so one ye 0244829685 and 0244468206. Power Specialist about Hospital Dr. Kusu Adua ya say yade bia etete wo no bra not in a 10 amount or treatments for sciatica, sanso, and hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E. Or better the amount gono, arthritis, syphilis, broken bones, ulcer, hernia, ninano, or better at the amount. Your Kwabenya off ACP main road, no, and near Ninkomo 0244544422 0244544422 Asumdwe Spiritual and Herbal Center. Prophet Emmanuel Blessed Ajay say yade bia konanda say huhumu asem tilswa tito ni na bra na finsu no onko emwa ene Prophet Emmanuel Ajay ending komo 0244643012 Gold Kits yede nkwara na eko opese obo vanity style bia fane bra oye bema opesu unity style bia fane bra unisex salon yesanso playground one more playroom honum iti connection and so ye wo aye Paraco Estate main gate no Christian Village dome 0596008138 Ted Care and Vision Center ya DBT to especially ban say eni ya dia Ted Care and Vision Center honia de echo eti wo ni ya de ba cho fakopiem ope ahwene we bia sha fakopiem na afis ron komoa na ose eneyi me no nni nkomo se obaya kachi ya o machines ahodo a ya sanso training crofo e bana ni ayarsa omunim de intino ye be ma ye da assurance no and found so no fear wadi ye be provide comprehensive eye care at the amount education and so DVLA for so am I to me crata say a neo copel license. One of the requirements, say, call for eye examination. Now then crata bas 1 year. Said the Bayer Nipa Genoa, Umfaka Kununa Sessa Ponche. Intino, bra, na you hear the crata never count crata home. Now or the aquadio license, no. Now be a eye kama. You're not free, and that's an FM Modern Chrome Airport Residential Area, Yaban Association International School, Yana Mirage, residence, no any DNM share. Ea Juma Abribia, any incomo 0245 938389. The Bahaba Center, Chefoba, set bra, a bano set, no pimu yadia, Bahaba Center, become more spinal cord, and wabati and hanging in our share at the amount or wha. Would him say, Yana, would take yaw, a would lumpim, a Bahaba Center, stroke guno, and a physikisikuru, a ukra, a chapan sanu, my bed dress and a camamo drew, a man also at me, at Akokra, you a year at Tunsuagogo, Agogo Hospital, Nachi, El Comase, Oba a year. And Krahanoma Sprinters Road, 18 Junction, 0244 988 004. O Madam Akambi, and the Jumadi Ebro. Honorable, your time and I saw your call.
And wait here. I saw more monitor. Honorable than Latif.
Okay.
I say MP for
Ablekuma,
this area. And Honorable Gumashi.
Ablajiva Gumashi.
Exactly. I'm also followed by my child, and I'm a chair honorable Akosio Pomfusu.
All right.
I am a father, former local government minister.
Okay.
The air corner made a jet here for the say, maybe I do know. Mahama is the obvious choice of between a savage. And 2024 election is going to be ideas, is going to be policies. Now, share one policy, make a kakra, and I'm a farmer, no say, see, there's going to be a deliberate policy to revive our dying poultry farm industry share abrana NDC officer na ye maame yera Hana Bisu deputy minister of agric. There was a deliberate policy say nkoko na ma be craft amanoni aban should be 60%. Locally we should be able to produce 40%. There was a stimulus package for these people. And then the extra say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Oba no ababeye no aye atwaso enti me ma no be sina ma do bi ase for the time.
Okay.
Na me him say yanum so chop.
All right. Ivan. Yabon. The 2 weeks I home.
Yeah, let's share BM.
Honorable Sorogoti.
Honorable Mechano. Was in the Benny coach.
Was so mobile for Dino.
I like you in my sign. I'm Michel.
Yadiasi, Yami Atomoa. Ochebe Samba Betwa, so your friend Kosiboache, Honorable Nicholas Amankwa Memphis East, constituency member of parliament, so and a social commentator, Ivan Che Innocent. Mani Yadanepa, Mano Penasem Papa, why is I see you get Yano? Yeah, you must see Yamiadma, Yabasanshia.
Ghana's Gold. Radio Gold.
Day with the right energy? Introducing Drango Energy Drink, your ultimate source of vitality. Whether you're battling fatigue, seeking a boost, or savoring a refreshing energy kick, Drango is your answer. Featuring an iconic tiger symbol, Drango is the go-to choice for athletes, drivers, and all active go-getters. What sets Drango apart is our secret formula, a unique blend of vitamins B3, B5, B6, B12, all packed in a silver sporty bottle. Drango Energy Drink keeps you going. Drango!